Now on CoastTV News.
Remembering the Pope, honoring the late pontiff, and what is next in the Catholic Church's search for a leader. Milton making moves. Have two fast food chains are attempting to set up shops near the banks of the Broadkill.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. New this morning, DuPont Highway in Georgetown near the McDonald's is now reopened. Police say it was temporarily closed due to a pedestrian crash investigation. According to officials, northbound traffic was being rerouted onto Edward Street. At this time, there are no further details about that investigation. And if you've driven down Route 1 or Route 16, you know it's busy and the intersection of the two is dangerous. Happening today to prevent more crashes and collisions, Phase 4 of the Milton Overpass project begins. DelDOT says that project will start to reroute cars and trucks heading towards the beaches across the new overpass as construction in the surrounding area continues. Some neighbors tell CoastTV they're optimistic about the changes.
Once the summer comes, I imagine it's going to be quite busy. So this is going to relieve some of the traffic around here.
DelDOT says to expect delays today as that work takes place to shift traffic. And Delaware is continuing to push for electric vehicles by extending its rebate program. The Clean Transportation Initiative program will now last through April 30th, 2026. The program provides financial support to people who buy electric vehicles and businesses who install charging stations. According to Denmark, people could get up to $2,500 in rebates. The program could cover up to 90% of installation costs for businesses. And this just in, Salisbury says it is making efforts to remove harmful algae from its waterways. According to the city, its field operations will treat ponds and other waterways in May. Hydrilla and harmful algae blooms are the focus of these treatments. The city will use algicides and herbicides to prevent growth, and 2 or more treatments could be necessary in the areas with more severe growth. And we are now going to take a live look outside at Milford, and our first alert meteorologist, Bob Trahey, is going to join us. Bob, I just stepped outside before the show, and it feels like summertime out there.
Amazing, isn't it, Elisa? It feels more like June instead of the middle to latter part of April, but we'll take it. It's beautiful out there. It's 76 in Georgetown right now. Just checked my station in Millsboro, 77, and we apologize for the missing data on the temperatures here, but along the coast, you're in the upper 50s and low 60s right now. 61 in Ocean City, 74 in Salisbury, and Milton right now it's 77. As we've got variable winds at the present time, basically westerly winds that are warming us up, and we had some showers earlier across Sussex County. Now it's drying out. We're seeing the sunshine, but lingering showers down into areas of Maryland and Virginia around Chincoteague, just very light showers, and those showers extend into eastern parts of Virginia, and they'll tend to die out here the next hour or so. But we're ahead of a cold front as we're looking at a southwesterly flow, and that means a very mild afternoon, cooler behind the front. So into the afternoon, here's noon on Futurecast, upper 70s. I think many inland locations right around the 80s, right around 80 or low 80s, and then 60s at the beaches and close to 70, and a mild evening on the way. Day part forecast is a warm one. Have the sunscreen handy and make sure you stay hydrated with water as well. It does cool down Wednesday into Friday, and it looks like some rain chances into the weekend. I'll talk about that more coming up in my full forecast a little bit later on.
Thank you, Bob. This just in, the proposed Dairy Queen in Milton is looking to take the next step to becoming a reality. A public hearing is taking place tonight at the Planning and Zoning meeting about the site plans. 302 Chicken LLC, Pennoni Associates Incorporated, is expected to present revisions for the fast food restaurant planned for 405 Broadkill Road. And also at that Planning and Zoning meeting in Milton, the Dunkin' Donuts set for that same area is looking to get its revised plans approved. Several of the items that are being presented include details about the sidewalks and sewer connections. Dunkin' first made its pitch to the town in the fall of 2024. The original plans call for over 2,800 square feet for the coffee chain restaurant. We are now taking a live look at St. Peter's Square at the Vatican City in Rome. Many people have been flocking to that area since the news about the Pope's passing. Mourners can pay their respects with the body of Pope Francis displayed for the first time this morning. NBC's Alice Barr shows this attention is now turning to the Cardinals' preparation to elect a new pope.
as tributes pour in for the People's Pope who led the Catholic Church toward a more progressive path.
Pope Francis had a way of getting the church to think outside the box.
Centuries-old traditions are underway. While the faithful mourn, cardinals are at the Vatican going through details of the funeral, their first meeting since Pope Francis's death at 88, caused, the Vatican says, by a stroke and heart failure. President Trump preparing to attend the funeral in the coming days.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world.
Though as dignitaries descend, Pope Francis is being remembered most for his devotion to the least among us.
He is the Pope of the poor, the Pope of the marginalized, underprivileged.
With a heart for children, Jocelyn Aquino met Pope Francis when she was just 12 years old, greeting him on his one and only visit to the U.S. back in 2015. The daughter of immigrants from El Salvador spoke in Spanish with the first Pope from Latin America.
This is the leader of the Catholic Church. This is the most powerful man. And I was just like, wow, you spoke to me in my native language. Like, it was just amazing.
A leader who spoke to so many, even beyond the Catholic Church. He addressed Congress on that trip to Washington, never shying away from voicing his views, from ending the wars in Ukraine and Gaza to advocating for immigrants and moving toward acceptance for the LGBTQ community. Often at odds with traditionalists, he cemented his legacy as a reformer, as cardinals prepare for the conclave to elect his successor and decide the next direction for the Catholic Church. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Coming up after the break, watch for work zones. We'll tell you how Delmarva is protecting its employees during National Work Zone Awareness Week. Happening now, it's National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week, and Delta is marking the occasion by honoring those on the front lines of projects. Delta held a ceremony to remember workers who were injured or killed while working on roads in the state. In the last 3 years, 65 Delta employees were hurt in work zone crashes. 13 of those were serious injuries.
The national slogan is respect the zone so we all get home. And at the end of the day, I just want everybody to get home to their families. And so again, I hope that folks will slow down and pay attention while driving through work zones.
And Delta says it continues to work to make road worker safety a priority until injuries reach zero. And Maryland is encouraging drivers to move over and slow down. They say so that everyone can come back safely home. And a return to normal in Slaughter Beach, the Cedar Creek drawbridge is now open. That's according to DelDOT. It ends a month-long detour situation. That drawbridge closed in early March due to an unexpected malfunction.
We're seeing very mild conditions out there right now on the FH4 camera. Cambridge 75, a mix of sun and clouds, and you're warming up into the mid to upper 70s. I'm thinking low 80s for some areas later today. A little cooler at the coast, and then slightly cooler beginning Wednesday, and that lasts into the end of the week. Congratulations to our umbrella giveaway winner today. It's Tori Duracek from Millsboro. Tori, congratulations from Paul Davis and CoastTV. We could be looking at some rain into the weekend. My full forecast is coming up next. It definitely has that summer feel out there this morning. It feels like June as opposed to the middle to latter part of April. As Laurel, you'll be looking at temperatures in the upper 70s, warming into the low 80s this afternoon. Right now, some high clouds, some blue skies mixing in as well. The storyline today, it's a toasty Tuesday. Get out there and enjoy. Make sure you have the sunscreen with a higher SPF. That sun is getting stronger. Near 80 inland areas and cooler at the coast. And the rest of the week, I think, is beautiful. Wednesday through Friday, we're looking at temperatures in the low to mid 70s. However, some changes heading into the weekends, looking unsettled, especially on Saturday. More on that coming up, but really nice out there now. 74 in Salisbury, 76 in Georgetown. Check my home station in Millsboro, 77 there. The same in Redden, Milton, and Seaford. And look at that. Oh, Bethany Beach just popped in. Welcome back. Bethany Beach 75, Rehoboth 77, and 62 in Ocean City right now. As our winds are pretty much offshore, so I think we're looking at a very warm day. Even along the coast with an offshore wind, you will be, well, cooler than inland areas, but still pretty comfortable as we're looking at a few high clouds clouds and cumulus clouds over Sussex County right now, and some pesky showers farther to the south near the Maryland-Virginia line and Delmarva, Chincoteague, George Island Landing. I think you're seeing the last of the showers there, and then we'll see some clearing as we go into the afternoon hours. As we've seen a warm front lift through this morning, that's why we have that summer feel with the southwesterly flow. But back to the west of D.C. and into the mountains, there is a cold front, and there is slightly cooler and drier air working in behind that front, and then that will be our weather Wednesday through Friday. So looking really nice the rest of the week. Here's Futurecast at noon, well into the 70s away from the coast, but at the beaches 60s to around 74 in Rehoboth, 72 in Lewis, and then by mid-afternoon most inland locations in the lower 80s, but then those temperatures a little cooler at the beaches with 60s and 70s, 78 in Lewis. And if you're out and about this evening, looking fantastic, partly cloudy, mild conditions. And then as we go through the overnight, the flow turns in out of the northeast. We'll see some cloud cover, and it's a little cooler into the 50s tomorrow morning and feeling chillier with that northeast flow. And you'll be cooler at the beaches tomorrow with 50s and 60s, while inland we're in the 60s to lower 70s from Salisbury to Seaford and Georgetown, but around 68 Millsboro, and 50s and 60s at the beaches. So a little bit of a cool down as we go into Wednesday. Now heading into the weekend, if you have outdoor plans, maybe having a yard sale on Saturday, watch for some showers building in the morning hours. That rain could be heavy at times, and I think we could get a rumble of thunder too. Then that clears out as we go into the evening, and then as we go into Sunday, looks like a drier northerly flow. Paul, they have a 7-day forecast up to 80 today. A little cooler Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with low to mid 70s, and it does cool down at night a little bit too. Upper 40s Thursday and Friday morning. Then that chance of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder on Saturday, 76. Partly cloudy Sunday, 66 degrees. And then Monday, a mix of sun and clouds and a high around 70.
Thank you, Bob. Coming up tonight on DSN at 8:30, it's NCAA men's lacrosse as Salisbury University is home with St. Mary's. Then it's the final score at 10:30. And over on the DSN Plus app, you also get that Salisbury lacrosse game, along with these exclusives. At noon, baseball when Milford hosts Polytech. At 4 p.m., Queen Anne's takes on St. Michael's. And at 4:30, Sussex Central hosts Decatur in high school softball. And Into the Trenches is back for its third season. This year, we follow the Cape Henlopen Vikings football team fresh off of their first state championship appearance in 40 years. DSN takes you to the practice field, inside the locker rooms, and on the sidelines as the team hopes to prove themselves once again amongst the top teams in Delaware Class 3A. Into the Trenches premieres Thursday, April 24th at 7:30 on DSN and the DSN Plus app. And here's what you can look forward to today on Coast Life at 4.
Coming up today on Coast Life, we have a truly great debate. We're talking social media. Is it helpful? Is it harmful? Is it maybe a little bit of both? We're going to get into it. And then, as we always like to do here on Coast Life, we're going to have some adorable animals. We've got a petting zoo situation that you're not going to want to miss. You're going to see which ones vibe with us and which ones, ow, maybe give me a little nip. That's coming up today at 4 on Coast Life.
A popular grocery chain is looking to set up shop in Seaford. A final public hearing on the Aldi store will take place at tonight's City Council meeting. According to plans, the location is on Route 13 across from the Lowe's Shopping Center. After the public hearing, there are still approvals to get since it's on State Road. Shoppers we spoke with say they are looking forward to having more options.
Absolutely. It's a great place to live. It's a slower pace of life than where we're from, which was outside of D.C. And I enjoy that about it, but at the same time, we want to have the good shopping and see things progress.
And that public hearing will be held tonight at 7 p.m. at City Hall. In Maryland, MDOT has opened applications for up to $2 million through a Bikeways Network grant program. If you didn't know, that's a program aimed at expanding bicycle infrastructure and improving safety across the state. Grants support projects like building trail connections and bike lanes, with funding available for up to 80% of eligible costs. The deadline to apply is May 26th. And coming up Friday and Saturday, head over to Harrington Fairgrounds for the DSN Outdoors Expo on Friday the 25th. It will be held from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and on Saturday the 26th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. CoastTV will be right back. According to a new report, cancer death rates in the U.S. are declining. That's according to a 2024 annual report to the nation on the status of cancer. It showed a steady decline in overall cancer deaths from 2000 to 2022. The rate of diagnoses among men fell from 2000 through 2013 and then stabilized through 2021. But among women, the diagnosis rate increased slightly every year between 2003 and 2021. And if you have unused prescriptions or ones that you no longer take, this Saturday, April 26th, locations all across Delmarva are participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. According to the Milton Police Department, they will be participating, as well as the Rehoboth Beach Police Department and Maryland State Police Barracks in Salisbury and Berlin.
Not seeing any boats on the Gutter Helmet Camp, but a nice day for boating. 77 in Ocean View right now, and you'll be in the 70s pretty much all day. Lower 80s expected for inland locations, and a little cooler at the beaches, and slightly cooler for everybody beginning Wednesday, and that lasts for the rest of the week with some weekend rain chances. Call the CoastTV First Alert weather phone. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Your 10-day forecast is coming up next. We're looking at a gorgeous afternoon for any outdoor activities. Enjoy out there. Make sure you have the sunscreen. 80 or low 80s inland areas, a little cooler at the beaches, but not by much. And then tonight we will see a cold front sliding through. Down to 55 tomorrow morning. Here's the Paul Davis 10-day forecast. 72 Wednesday, partly cloudy. In fact, we keep it in the low to mid 70s for the rest of the week. Saturday looking a little rainy and stormy, 76, but Sunday is better, 66 and partly cloudy. Then mild into next week with 70s Monday and Tuesday. Back into the low 80s Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. And don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Have a great day.